This is Channel 25 WVTT Olean. Now, from the Twin Tiers' biggest broadcast news operation, this is the 6 o'clock report with Jeff Androlonis and Alexa Olson. Listen on News Radio 96.7 WVTT or watch on News Channel 25 WVTT television. WVTT proudly presents the 6 o'clock report.
Good evening, I'm Alexa Olson.
And I'm Jeff Androlonis. Good evening. The big story tonight on Twin Tiers Evening News. An increase in temperatures is coming our way over the weekend. Complete weather details straight ahead here on WVTT. In fact, we could be seeing temps in the low 50s. That up and down of the temperatures, though, leads to colds and sniffles, and flu season is here as well. In fact, health experts say that flu season is off to a strong start already in 2013. With more on the story, our Ed Payne reports.
Get a flu shot. That's the message from health experts at the CDC, who say this is the earliest start to a flu season in about a decade. 41 states are reporting widespread flu cases.
We know right now through our surveillance systems that more people are going to the doctor and more people are being hospitalized for flu this year than they were last year.
The CDC says more than 2,200 people have been hospitalized because of the flu, and 18 children have died.
This is a group of people, children, who can be particularly vulnerable to influenza, so we strongly recommend that eligible children be vaccinated every year, this year especially so.
Getting a flu shot doesn't guarantee you won't get the flu, but it does offer protection against the virus.
This year they're saying about 60% effectiveness. It's not 100%. In previous years it's better than nothing.
And getting the flu shot won't give you the flu.
When you get a flu shot, you're getting a dead virus, so it can't give you the flu. But what it's doing is activating your immune system. That's what it's supposed to do. It's teaching your immune system to recognize that virus as a problem. So when if it sees it again, it attacks it.
Doctors point out that it takes 2 weeks for a flu shot to take full effect, so it's important to get vaccinated early in the season. I'm Ed Payne reporting.
Thanks, Ed, for that report tonight. And we hope that you work to boost your immune system with flu season here. Meanwhile, the city of Olean is seeing a boost in revenue. WVTT's Valerie Tysander joins us now. She's live in the WVTT digital newsroom with the story on what's causing that increase. Valerie.
When most people think airport, they don't think moneymaker. But for the Cattaraugus County, one major source of revenue is exactly that. Olean officials say the city has received revenue from many sources this past year, but one of the most notable is the Cattaraugus County Olean Municipal Airport. That airport alone received a 37% increase in revenues this past year. The airport has been bringing in more money thanks to the new self-serve fuel station. Olean Public Works Commissioner Tom Windus says they have a lot of people coming to fuel up. Just last week, 3 Black Hawk choppers landed and fueled up before continuing on to Dallas. The hope is that one day the airport will be self-sufficient, but to do so it needs to bring in up to $200,000 annually. This past year alone, the airport brought in more than $148,000, but Tom Windus says that is still a huge increase from previous years. Mayor Linda Witt says the airport has been a huge boon to Cattaraugus County. She says it's used often by many organizations, by St. Bonaventure, by the hospital, by congressmen and congresswomen, and of course by private citizens. Both the mayor and Mr. Windus say that anyone is welcome to come check out the airport if you haven't done so already. To do so, to arrange a private tour, you can just give the Public Works Department a call or, of course, contact the airport directly. In the WVTT Digital Newsroom, I'm Valerie Tysander. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Valerie. Reporting live from the WVTT Digital Newsroom. For more on the story, you can check out our website. That's twintiersnews.com. Alexa.
Well, Jeff, the Olean School Board will be voting next week and their next board meeting to decide whether or not they will accept a bid from Community Bank to buy the empty IJN building. Olean School Superintendent Dr. Colleen Taggarty says that she is excited about these new possibilities.
I just want to say that I'm grateful to Community Bank and showing an interest in continuing to support our community and to maintain jobs within our community. I think that's an important factor as we move forward in looking at the buildings being sold.
Now, even if the board approves the sale of the building, the public will still have the opportunity to vote on whether or not they want to see the building sold. To join the conversation, please visit our Facebook page, Facebook.com/WVTT News. Jeff.
Alexa, a teenager, faces charges tonight. Police say he stole an employee uniform from the Seneca Allegheny Casino. Cattaraugus County Sheriff's deputies tell WVTT 18-year-old Tyler Jimerson of Irving walked into an employees-only area of the casino and made off with the uniform. He's being charged with petty larceny and trespassing. Jimerson has a court date set for later this month. Now, this isn't the first time Jimerson has had a run-in with the law. Just last year, he was charged with petty larceny after a report from Walmart where the individuals were using knives to cut merchandise out of packages.
Two teens are learning their lesson after they got caught trespassing at a vacant house. According to the Cattaraugus County Sheriff's Office, a 17-year-old woman and an 18-year-old man were exploring an abandoned house on Lerndon Road in Cold Springs. The two did not have permission to be on that property when police arrived around 3:40 in the morning. Both teenagers were charged with second-degree criminal trespass. The woman was released. The man was taken to Cattaraugus County Jail in lieu of $1,000 bail.
A New York man is set to change his not guilty plea before a federal judge in Erie on charges he traveled across state lines before trying to lure two girls into sexual conduct last year. 41-year-old David Lopez of Asheville, New York, was arrested in a homeless shelter in Ohio in June 2011 after police obtained arrest warrants for him in two cases in northwestern Pennsylvania. Federal prosecutors later took over the cases after they determined he traveled from New York to Conewango Township, where he allegedly tried to lure a girl into his vehicle near a trailer park. That back on May 24th, 2011.
A Smethport man will go to court to answer for rape accusations. Those charges were bound over to court yesterday. 32-year-old Paul Swank is accused of raping a woman while she was unconscious back in November in Sargent Township. While Swank will be charged with several felonies and misdemeanors in the incident, several additional charges associated with the incident were dropped.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. A statewide band's the way to go. Hey, hey.
This is what it sounded like as hundreds of New Yorkers rallied against fracking outside of Governor Andrew Cuomo's birthday fundraiser at the Waldorf Astoria in New York City Monday night. The protesters greeted the Cuomo donors arriving at the event, providing them with information on the dangers of fracking, that's what they say, and urging them to persuade the governor to protect New York from what they say is a hazardous gas extraction process.
The two firefighters injured in the ambush in Webster, New York, are home from the hospital tonight. Joseph Hofstrener and Theodore Scardoni have both been released after being wounded when William Spangler set his house on fire and started shooting at first responders as they arrived on scene. Two other firefighters, Spangler's sister and Spangler himself, were killed in the incident.
The NHL is excited to get back on the ice after a 16-week lockout. Our Buffalo Sabres held a news conference earlier today to talk about the future of the team and what the season will hold. Sorry about the problem with the sound there. They also say that fans are entitled to an apology. Now, the first home game for the Sabres is coming up on Saturday, January 20th.
Jeff, Fisher-Price is recalling nearly 800,000 of its Rock and Play infant sleepers due to risk of exposure to mold. Mold could build up under the seat cushion and potentially make your baby sick. Fisher-Price has had 600 reports of mold and 16 babies getting sick after sleeping near that mold. Now, the sleeper looks like this. You can see it on your screen. Although the fabric covers come in more than a dozen patterns and colors, mold can develop between the cushions, like I said before, and that hard plastic frame. That's if you don't clean it often enough. The rockers were sold for between $50 to $85, Jeff.
Alexa, still to come on Twin Tiers Evening News, our first look at weather. Also straight ahead, the global news update and WVTT's Wall Street wrap-up. It's all straight ahead. You stick around. This is News Channel 25 WVTT.